Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Lulu just blew up several lives by revealing Gio's true parentage on General Hospital. But keen viewers just spotted a clue that might get revenge on Lulu in the worst way imaginable. Once the literal dust from Giovanni Mazza, smashed violence settled, Brooklyn, Amanda Seton, took her rage out on the person responsible for it all, Lulu, Alexa Heavens. She begged her childhood nemesis not to go digging into her teen pregnancy and adoption, but Lulu didn't listen, asserting that Dante, Dominic Zamprogna, had the right to know he had a son. Once Lulu figured out that son was Gio, there was no hope in things staying a summer camp secret. Now, Brooklyn is out for blood from anyone who kept Gio a secret. She tore into her grandmother Gloria, Ellen Travolta, kicked her mom Lois, Raina Sofa, out of the mansion, and slapping Lulu across the face wasn't quite enough payback. Brooklyn hired Port Charles' newest attorney Marco, Adrian Ancondo, to dig up dirt on someone, but that someone wasn't Lulu. "What do you want with a dead woman?" Marco asked Brooklyn as she peered at a photo of the late Dr. Britt Westburn, Kelly Thibaud, and now her revenge plot makes sense. Longtime GH viewers may remember that it was Britt who gave birth to Rocco, Finn Carr, back in 2014. Despite claiming to have gotten pregnant by Nicholas, Britt actually stole one of Lulu and Dante's embryos from the hospital, and the result was Rocco, who Britt originally named Ben. The entire ordeal devastated the Falconeros, but between Thibaud's upcoming GH return and Brooklyn's determination for revenge, things may turn out worse than anyone could imagine. If Brooklyn uncovers that Britt is not only alive, but Rocco's actual mother, she would be taking away a son from Lulu the way she believes Lulu took a son away from her. General Hospital is known for its heartbreaking twists and mind-blowing reveals, and fans are bracing themselves for another emotional landslide. This time, it revolves around Lulu Spencer and a theory that's slowly gaining traction online. A theory that could change everything Lulu thought she knew about her family and ignite a firestorm across Port Charles. With subtle hints dropped in recent episodes and a mysterious narrative trail beginning to form, viewers are wondering, is GH about to rip Lulu's world apart by revealing a shocking truth about her son Rocco? Lulu Spencer has been a fan favorite for years, a complex blend of Spencer fire and Laura's unwavering heart. Her legacy in Port Charles is unmatched, her loyalty fierce, her resilience unmatched. But just as she seemed poised for a long-awaited comeback, the writers may be laying the groundwork for something devastating. While Lulu remains in a coma, fans have been closely watching the interactions between characters surrounding her, and many believe they spotted a breadcrumb trail pointing to one explosive twist. Rocco may not be her biological son. Yes, you read that right. General Hospital fans are buzzing about a wild theory that's suddenly not looking so wild after all. Recent storylines involving Brooklyn Quartermain and Britt Westburn have caused many to speculate that Lulu was never the true mother of Rocco, and that the truth may have been buried long ago in a desperate cover-up involving Victor Cassadine, Liesl Obrecht, and some tampered DNA results. But why now? Why bring this painful possibility to the surface, just as Lulu may be inching closer to a miraculous awakening? The answer may lie in GA's recent focus on Brooklyn and the increasingly deep involvement she has in the lives of the Falconeri family. For months, fans have watched Brooklyn become more emotionally invested in Rocco. It started subtly, a school event here, a casual babysitting gig there, but has since escalated to an almost maternal dynamic. Could this be a hint that Brooklyn has a deeper connection to the boy than anyone realized? Could the writers be setting her up for a tragic revelation that she is Rocco's true biological mother? It sounds outrageous, but then again, this is General Hospital, a soap built on outrageous twists that somehow feel completely earned by the time they explode on screen. and longtime viewers haven't forgotten Britt Westburn's checkered past. Known for her role in the infamous baby swap storyline involving Dante and Lulu years ago, Britt once stole embryos and faked paternity results. Could history be repeating itself? Is it possible Britt, once again, played a part in altering the course of Lulu's motherhood? According to a growing number of fan theories, the pieces are starting to align. In the early 2010s, Britt's schemes caused massive upheaval for Dante and Lulu. At one point, there was even confusion over whose embryo had been implanted and who actually carried Rocco. While it was eventually established that Dante and Lulu were Rocco's biological parents, some fans argue that the show never quite tied up all the loose ends, and recent scenes suggest that GH might be pulling at those threads once again. In a recent episode, a seemingly throwaway line caught the attention of eagle-eyed fans. When Rocco asked Brooke Lynn if she remembered something about his baby blanket, she froze for a split second before responding with more emotion than the moment warranted. It was subtle, easily overlooked, but for longtime GH sleuths, it felt like a breadcrumb. Could Brooke Lynn have been involved in Rocco's birth in a way she never fully realized? Could the hospital records have been tampered with to conceal a botched embryo transfer or a baby switch orchestrated by someone with a Casadine agenda? Enter Victor Casadine. Though now dead, Victor's influence continues to haunt Port Charles. Known for his manipulations, lies, and obsessive desire to control the Casadine legacy, Victor had his hands in many hidden projects, some that may not have come to light yet. Fans theorize that Victor could have used Britt or even Liesel to orchestrate a switch or misdirection during Lulu's fertility treatments. If Victor believed Lulu wasn't Casadine enough, or wanted to test out a new genetic experiment, he might have replaced embryos or manipulated the gestational process altogether. It's a dark theory, but GH has never shied away from the dark, especially when it comes to the Casadines. In fact, the darkest reveals often make for the most compelling drama. And if Lulu does finally wake up from her coma, only to learn that Rocco is not her biological child, it would not only devastate her, but also cause massive shockwaves across multiple families. Laura, already reeling from Nicholas' actions and Spencer's struggles, would be torn between supporting her daughter and helping Rocco adjust to a truth he was never prepared for. Dante, who's moved on with Sam, could be thrust back into Lulu's orbit under the most painful of circumstances, rekindling old sparks just as Sam's trust is tested. And what of Brooke Lynn? If the theory proves true, and she is revealed as Rocco's biological mother, what happens next? Brooke Lynn has always had a complicated relationship with motherhood, particularly after her painful decision to give up Bailey. Could this be a second chance at having a biological child in her life? Or will guilt and fear keep her from stepping forward, especially if it means hurting Lulu? There's also the possibility that Brooke Lynn has no idea Rocco is hers, that she was a pawn in a scheme she never consented to, manipulated by Victor or even Liesel during a vulnerable moment. Imagine the devastation if she learns the truth alongside Lulu. Two women, both victims, both mothers in their own right, fighting for a child they both love. GH is known for emotionally nuanced storylines that pit characters' hearts against their moral compasses, and this one would be no exception. If Brooke Lynn is indeed Rocco's biological mother, she might not want to hurt Lulu, but how could she ignore the truth once it comes to light? Could the two women find a way to co-parent, or would this spark a bitter custody battle, unlike anything Port Charles has seen before? One thing's certain. This potential reveal has the power to bring the Spencer, Quatermain, and Falconary families into a whirlwind of emotion, legal wrangling, and buried secrets. It could fracture friendships, reignite rivalries, and rewrite family trees. And for Lulu, who's already lost so much, it could be the final heartbreak that breaks her or the battle that brings her back stronger than ever. Social media has exploded with speculation. There's no way that stare Brooke Lynn gave Rocco was normal, one fan posted on Reddit. It felt like something big is coming. Another fan chimed in on Twitter. I've been saying it for years. Brit messed up that embryo, and GA never resolved it. Lulu's about to get hit hard. The theory may have started as a whisper, but it's quickly becoming a roar. Even longtime cast members have teased that a major family shakeup is on the horizon. And if that weren't enough, rumors are swirling that Emma Lan, who played Lulu, has been seen around the General Hospital set. Could her return be timed with this massive twist? What better way to reintroduce Lulu than to hand her a storyline that tests everything she stands for? A woman waking up from a coma, only to realize that the son she thought she raised is biologically someone else's. That's soap gold, and exactly the kind of story GH excels at telling. But what would this mean for Rocco? At his age, identity is everything. He's old enough to understand family, to feel betrayed, and to ask difficult questions. How do you explain to a child that the mother who raised you might not be the one who gave birth to you, and that someone else, a woman you barely know or thought of as just a friend of the family, might be your biological mother? The psychological impact would be enormous, and GH has always done a brilliant job portraying emotional fallout through its younger characters. As of now, nothing is confirmed. GH is playing it close to the vest, allowing these subtle moments to build tension without tipping their hand. But if the show does pull the trigger on this twist, it would not only rewrite a significant chapter in Port Charles' history, it would open the door for a whole new generation of drama. Brooke Lynn's role as a mother, Lulu's fight for identity and purpose, Dante's inner conflict, Laura's maternal fury, and even Olivia's protective instincts, all could collide in a fiery, unforgettable storyline. In the end, maybe this isn't just a story about biology. Maybe it's a story about what makes a mother. Maybe GH is preparing us for a raw exploration of motherhood, sacrifice, and the emotional lines we draw to define our families. And maybe, just maybe, Lulu's heartbreak will be the start of something even greater, her rebirth. Only time will tell whether this shocking theory turns out to be true. But one thing is certain, if General Hospital is setting Lulu up for heartbreak, it's going to be one for the ages, and Port Charles will never be the same again. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.